had the wonderful opportunity to interview all about Omisha G. Please check it out right here.
Guest is on, and we are excited to bring her on. So let's go ahead and I ain't even gonna give her no grand introduction. We're just gonna jump into this thing and start talking. Let's see. Hello, Omisha.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Excited.
Good to see you.
Too.
Yes. So Omisha and I went to college together. Omisha and I were in gospel choir together. And so we have some funny memories together, some funny stories, some adventures. Shout out to UNCG and what was it called? The
gospel choir.
Girl, I was about to say neonatal. Yes, what was
it? Baby brain. Baby.
Right, you already know. That is hilarious. Well, anyway, I'm excited to have Omisha here. And I'm gonna let her share with you what her business is and what her brand is. Because I think it's so unique. I don't think I've ever known anyone personally who does what you do. And so I'm gonna just let you go ahead and jump in. Introduce yourself and tell us about your business, this fire piece that's behind you. So yes, go ahead. I'll let you talk.
All right. So my name is Omisha Owens. Okay, my name is Omisha Owens. I'm from a small town called Pantego, North Carolina, 252. But I currently live in McLeansville, which is like it's near Greensboro, between Greensboro and Burlington. And I went to UNCG, which is how I got here. 29 years old, and I teach kindergarten full time. So I'm a teacher by day and a fine artist by night. Okay. The babies during the day, teaching during the pandemic is something special, but we're making it. So yeah, that's pretty much all the information about me. My brand, it's called Omisha G, which is my name, Omisha G. My maiden name is Gaynor. So it was also crafty, but I changed it because I want people to know the person behind my work.
That's right. That's good.
Changed my brand name to Omisha G, and it's kind of funny how it all got started because I say that I wasn't really I thought I wasn't creative. I would always say like, you know, what's my gift? What's my talent? I'm not creative. Da, da, da. And then last year around this time, the Lord was like, you thought you weren't creative, like. But when I say that, my grandma was like, well, you know, you used to draw when you was little and you won these awards when you was in 3rd grade. I'm like, that really count, Mom. But she was like, tell the people that you used to do this when you was growing up.
I love that.
I won a contest in 3rd grade for my drawing. But I used to say I wasn't creative. You know, what's my gift? What's my talent? And then last year around this time, I have another brand called Royal Heritage, which is for children, where I do like I have children's books and, you know, clothing and everything to inspire, you know, Black and brown boys and girls, that, you know, to inspire them and uplift them. So I had t-shirts, and someone was like, well, you should make your own t-shirts or whatever. So that I got a cricket for Christmas. And like last year around this time, I made my first shirt. It wasn't a shirt for my brand, but it was like a Black History shirt. And from there, I started making all kinds of shirts and people started ordering. Somehow shirts led into, like, you know how you get on Pinterest and you see stuff, you're like, oh, I want to try that. So somehow shirts led into tumblers. I don't know how that happened, but shirts led into tumblers. And then from tumblers, I discovered like resin, because I had to use resin for my tumblers. So somehow trying to make tumblers led into making coasters. And then coasters led into wall art. So it was just like a ripple effect of trying new stuff. So how I really got started with wall art was I was making coasters, people was buying, and I was like, Laura, I saw a piece on Pinterest and I was like, I want to try that. If somebody orders one, you know, I'll try it. And like that same day, clearly he be listening, because that same day, this girl, Brittany Thompson, she texted me and was like, can you do something like this? And it was a resin wall art. And I was like, I have never done this before, but if you let me try, I'll do it for you. If it sucks, you don't have to pay for it. But if you if you and she loved it, and I've been making art ever since. So it hasn't even been a year. She was my first person to let me try it. I posted it, and people started, and orders just started flowing. Like, I was like, what? So that's how it got started. It was just a ripple effect of one craft into the next.
I love that. And even you said something at the beginning of this conversation, Amisha. You said, I thought I wasn't creative. Isn't it funny how we will discount ourselves because of a narrative that we tell ourselves? Yes. And so a lot of times, because I say the same thing, believe it or not, Jameson will tell you, I say the same thing of like, I'm not the creative. That's you. That's your genre. But it's crazy because we limit ourselves by the things that we speak over ourselves. But once that you begin to open up and you begin to be receptive of what God wanted to do through you, that literally he took you on a beautiful journey to where, look at that art behind you. Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is something that I would see in a large store, home decor store, you know what I'm saying? Of like just going through, and I love abstract art and things that, it's really based on the interpretation of the viewer. I love that. I do want you to tell this story though, because I know that you have a relationship with a very famous person, a sistership, a friendship, and you had the opportunity to send her a piece of your artwork. And so tell us that story.
Okay, so like I said, I wasn't doing this for very long, but I was like I'm a huge fan. Even before I started doing Sister, I'm a huge fan, love her music and everything. So I was like, I want to send her something. I told my best friend, I was like, I want to send Kiera Sheard some art or whatever. And I was like, but what color should I do? I was like, well, from her YouTube, I've seen, her home decor. It looks like it's got teal in the background, whatever. But then she has a song called It Keeps Happening. And I was like, something said the Promised Land. It keeps happening, the Promised Land. I was like, bet, I'm going to do white and gold and name it the Promised Land. So the idea stuck in my head and I finally did it. And the funny thing is, I ain't like it. Like, I'm my own worst critic. A lot of times when I make stuff, I be like, this is not this ugly. And my friends, my sisters be getting on me all the time, like, stop saying it. But I don't like it. And then I post it and everybody else be like, that's fire. And I'm like, for real? So I made it and I was like, I don't really like this, but I'm going to send it anyway because I don't want to redo it. Because, the stuff that I work with is not cheap. And so by faith, I sent it anyway. I was like, I hope she liked it. And so, like, my least expectation was that she liked it. I just want her to like it. I don't care if she don't post. Like, tell me what you think about it. You can inbox me like, I love it, thank you, whatever. So I sent her. I made it, and then maybe a few weeks later, I sent it to her. And I was at work, and I got a notification that she was on YouTube live opening fan mail. And I was like, dang, this art not supposed to be here. It's not scheduled to be here until the next day, which was a Wednesday. So I'm like commenting on the YouTube, like, I sent you something, but it's not gonna get there till tomorrow. Freaking out, like sad. Like, you opening fan mail and my stuff not even there yet. So I'm watching and she's like, oh, let me show you this other piece that somebody sent me. And I was like, oh my God, like it was mine. Like, I was like, it's there already. I'm freaking out because it's not there, and it was already there. And
that's a word, girl.
It was, the funny thing is, like, ever since then, nothing has gotten where it's supposed to be a day early since then. It got there a day before it was supposed to. And so I didn't know it was there. And like her reaction, like I said, the least I wanted was that she liked it. But her reaction was priceless. Like, she started screaming, like speaking in tongues, everything. And I was just in tears. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I called my best friend. I was like, Kiara got the art. She loved it, blah, blah, blah. So, like, that was just part one of the story. So I'm like, cool. She liked it. You know, thank you for even opening it. Because you could have just been like, you know, somebody sent me this, cool. But I joined her sister mentorship program. And I got like during the mentorship, you get to ask questions and stuff. And so they picked me to ask a question that I had, and the person, one of her best friend that works for her, was like, this is the girl that sent you to Promised Land. And she was like, oh my gosh, she got it, she showed it. And she was like, Omisha, I've never had art speak to me the way that spoke to me. And I had to play it off and laugh about it on, because I didn't want to cry on the camera, on my YouTube, but it really spoke to me. And so I was just like, I wasn't expecting it. I just wanted her to like it. And for her to say that something that I didn't even like, and spoke to her, I was just like, thank you.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, and then she was like, okay, I would like to order some coasters from you. So that led to her ordering coasters. And she was like asking me how I did it. And I'm explaining the whole process. I'm like, does she really care how I'm doing this? But I explained it. She ordered coasters from me. And then that wasn't even the end. Like during Christmas time, her Christmas decor was white and gold. And she hung my piece in her house. And she posted on her story. She did a pan view of her decor and like panned the tree, the art, but then she came back on her Instagram story and focused on my art and was like, one of my sisters sent this to me. Go tag my business. And she was like, this is beautiful. Look at this. It's called, and guess what it's called? It's called the Promised Land. Like she promoted me, and she didn't, like, it just kept going. Like I was cool. Like I said, I was cool with just her liking it, but she went above and beyond. Like it went above and beyond my expectation of what it would have, what it was to be. So that was like the highlight of my 2020.
Yeah, I love that. So I see you have on the Promised Land hoodie. Tell us a little bit about the brand, about the name, all of that.
Okay. So like I said, I named it the Promised Land because she has a song that is called It Keeps Happening. Like everything keeps happening. My money is blessed. My seed is blessed. Like good things keep happening. And so that's been a lot of people, especially her sisters, her fans. It's been our anthem. And so once she promoted my piece and people, saw it, I got a lot of requests for the Promised Land. Even though her piece was called the Promised Land, it was an original. People would, when they referred to white and gold, they called it the Promised Land. So they wanted.
I love it.
They wanted Promised Land white and gold wall art. Like they just kept asking for it. So I was like, period. I'm gonna ride this wave, and we're gonna do a whole clothing line called the Promised Land. So I got hoodies, face mask, long sleeve shirts, and short sleeves. And the Promised Land is basically, what are you waiting in expectation for God to do? And we might not be where we are, especially with the virus and just things happening in the world, police brutality, things that we're going through as a people, personal things, whatever. But what are you waiting in expectation for God to do while you're in whatever it is you're going through now? I know my personal story, in the middle of separation, 2 miscarriages, but I'm waiting in expectation for my Promised Land.
Come on.
A healthy, marriage, a happy marriage, healthy babies, financial freedom. So it's just, what are you waiting in expectation for God to do in your life while you are, in your now? So I took that piece and just ran with it.
I love that, Omisha. I want to talk a little bit about your books, okay? And your line. And so this is kind of near and dear to my heart. Girl, my eyes just start watering. Oh my gosh. It's near and dear to my heart because I have a little girl, a brown little girl, and we have your book. Yeah. And what I love is that, so your book is called Beautiful Me. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And So every day, Minnie and I, so I'm a stay-at-home mompreneur, right? So I work for Designs by Jameson. Like I work for the business, but I also have my 2 kids, you know, Minnie and Mason. And so every day we try to have what I call school time. So it's a couple hours in the morning time where we read a book, we, you know, sing our ABCs, we go through our colors, our numbers, animals, all of that. And we do an activity, a hands-on activity to increase her fine motor skills. Well, Minnie attention span is like 45 minutes on a good day. And so we have to, usually we have to read the book while she's doing the activity. Yes. Or sis is like, I want my iPad, which is her iPad, but she said, I want my iPad. Okay. So we're doing this activity and I did B is for beautiful me. Mm-hmm. And what I love though, Misha, is that Minnie stopped doing the activity. We were the activity for today was like a self-portrait, right? Mm-hmm. Where she was supposed to be drawing herself because she's beautiful. Right. And I love because she stopped her activity and actually was paying attention to the book because the little girl in the book looked like her. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to talk about a little bit of like, you know, what even made you want to get in writing children's books specifically. But first, I just want you to hear me say thank you. That I don't know what your journey has been like to get you there, but I appreciate you taking your story, your testimony, and focusing it in children's books so that my little girl, who's 2, can grow up knowing that I am beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have to question whether or not she was supposed to be what she is or look the way that she is, because even from a young age, and we don't have a lot of that, you know, I think that it's important. Representation matters. We watch Akili and Me versus, you know, she watches Coco Melon, but we also watch Akili and Me because it's important for her to be able to see people who look like her in different settings, as well as educating her. So I want to give you an opportunity to share, but I just wanted you to hear me say as a mom that I really appreciate you doing that. So tell us about your books and how you became an author.
Well, in 2018, I would like to say, I want to say something. I'm gonna give credit where it's due. The Lord gave me an idea to write a children's book. I had a message, and it was like 3 books that I had like made transcripts for, and I was like, well, I think I'm gonna do this one first. And it was near to me because
It's okay.
Okay. Because I had low self-esteem as a child. So I wanted to figure out a way to get that message across to Black and brown boys and girls all over the world in a way that they could relate to. And so he gave me the idea to write a book. And I wanted to, well, let me backtrack. So I had low self-esteem as a child, and how we view ourselves, it starts as, you know, from little kids. It starts as before you can even talk, like your family building you up, telling you you're beautiful at home, all that stuff. It starts at home, so that when you get to school and somebody says, you know,
come on,
you're ugly or whatever, no, I'm not, because my mommy told me I'm beautiful, or my daddy told me I'm beautiful. So even though, and sometimes we do have those people that tell us that, you know, I'm not saying that my grandparents that raised me didn't tell me I was beautiful, but sometimes it's important to do it, but sometimes I guess it's not enough. It wasn't enough for me, I guess, because yes, I was told I was smart. I was told I was beautiful at home, but the words from others still. So, you know, I didn't have high self-esteem. So I'm like, I don't want, you know, little Black and brown boys and girls to go through what I did when I was in school. So how can I encourage them? How can I help their, because it takes a village. How can I help their parents encourage them and instill self-love and high self-esteem and courage in their children in a way that they can be receptive. And so I was like, a children's book, make it colorful, bright, make it, somebody that looks like them. Because a lot of children's books, they have animals in it that are like people. But what about people that look like you? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that got started. And I made the little girl look like me. She has a gap like me. She has kinks like me. She has
I
dark
love it.
skin like me. The woman in the book, although I was raised by my grandparents, the woman in the book kind of looks like my mom. My mom is dark skinned, and she was teased as a child, for her skin complexion. So I kind of made the little girl in the book have the self-esteem that I wish I had. So it was just like one day something clicked and was like, girl, you beautiful. So I used to look in the mirror and like, God, why do I look like, I don't like the way I look. And then look in the mirror and now I can't stop looking in the mirror. And I'm like, girl, like, so it was like a switch, but I just wanted to make something to help parents help their children build their self-esteem and have self-love and courage. And that's, my brand is called Royal Heritage. I need to learn this scripture because it's my brand, but it's children are a heritage of the Lord. I don't know the exact scripture. So my brand is called Royal Heritage, and I have a clothing line called I Am Royalty.
Mm-hmm.
And my quote that I use with that is, know who you are. Don't let them tell you who you are. So,
oh, that's good.
So I have the book. It is available on Amazon, $12. And then I have the clothing line, I Am Royalty, which is available on my website. And from there, I keep saying I'm going to make more books. People are waiting for other children's books. And I do, like, my dream is to turn Beautiful Me into a series. So, like, the life of the main, and hopefully one day turn it into like a mini web series, like on YouTube or something like that. So it's the first book, my first book, but it's not the last one.
I love it. I love that. So it was actually somebody put in the comments, Psalms 127 verse 3 is the reference. Psalms 127 verse 3. That's awesome. So yeah, because of your book, Omisha, we now in the Bethea household have a song called "Look at That Cute Girl." And basically, it happens in my bedroom, in my wardrobe mirror, or in the bathroom on top of the sink. I have to stand Minnie up there for her to look at herself. And I say, look at that cute girl. And she poses. Okay. So I would like to thank you for that. For that. But that is awesome. That's awesome. For those who would want to get in contact with you, to maybe put in a order for wall art for Omisha G, or to have something specialized specifically for them. I know that on your Instagram page, you usually show a lot of different pieces, if you will, because I've seen not just coasters and wall art, but I've done seen stuff that I didn't even know could be designed with resin. So that's awesome. How can someone else, besides Instagram, I think I said that, how can people get in contact with you in order to learn more or to put in orders?
I have a YouTube where I just created a YouTube channel a couple of weeks ago. So you can find me on YouTube, Omisha G. And it's mostly like tutorials or, watch me work, where you'll watch me make something like, so I do resin, but I'm kind of trying to expand what I do. And so I do abstract too. So I can't do tutorial. I can't show you how to do it. So when I make stuff like this, it'll be watch me work. So you watch me make it, and then we'll have a conversation, or I'm talking to you about a popular topic or something. So I have a YouTube channel, Omisha G, where like tutorials, watch me work, lifestyle, and faith-based stuff. So yes, YouTube, and then I have a website. Right now it's omishagainer.bigcartel.com. That's my website right now because my main site is being built and it will be launched March 1st. So after March 1st, it will be omishagainer.com. Simple. After March 1st, you will have the option to do Afterpay. Afterpay
Oh,
can,
that's awesome.
yes, it Afterpay for the bigger pieces. So if I make something that's like $500, people might not be able to spend $500 at one
Love
time.
it.
You know, small increment payments. So right now you can still order at omishagainer.bigcartel.com, but after March 1st, it'll just be omishagainer.com.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Listen, I just want to reiterate, she did update her website in our Melanin Xperience group on her marketing flyer. The updated website is there for easy access for you to go click and be able to get in contact with her. She's also a member of the group, so you can send her a Facebook message or follow her on Instagram. And Afterpay, if you don't know what that is, listen, get with it, okay? Like she said, it's an opportunity for you to be able to make purchases and split your payments up into 4 easy payments. And so that's great. I know we are not often exposed or have access to fine art such as this. And so I love the fact that someone, a woman of color, has the opportunity to give us access to something so great, so beautiful, for us to be cultured. Okay. So yeah, support Omisha. Omisha, is there any last closing words that you would like to say?
10% discount. Use the code Melanin on my website. Yeah. So I have a 10%. Yeah, 10% off your entire purchase.
I love it. Thank you for throwing that in there, because I did forget. So thank you. All right, Omisha, thank you for being on, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. So those were our 2 guests for today. Now, listen, we have more vendors and authors who are going to be coming on with us every single day this week, every day at 6:00. And so set your reminder. Click the button. You should see it. It says get reminder in the group where it told you that I was going live. Okay. And tomorrow, let's see what we have tomorrow. Tomorrow we have, I believe we have Dominique, who has apparel. And then we have Brandon, who makes his own body scrubs. So tune in, continue to add people to our Melanin Xperience Facebook group, because we're not stopping here, y'all. We're not just stopping with this one-time virtual pop-up shop, but it's going to be an awesome opportunity for us to be able to network with one another, to build community, to continue to support one another, to circulate that Black dollar within our community. And then also to just, be a family and be there for one another. So these are your church announcements. That's what I feel like I was doing. It was the church announcements. These are your announcements. I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Head over to our Facebook group. There are 2 different albums. I want to make sure I say that there are 2 different albums. There's one for our vendors, and there's one for our authors. So make sure that you check out both albums so that you can see everyone who's being featured. And then also get your event tee, Making My Own Black History. The link will be posted in the group as well. All right. It's been fun, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.